This program is proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana. Welcome to First Issues. We have said it before and we will say it again. The true measure of an entrepreneurship is measured by their ability to solve for a problem they recognized within their community and profit from it. To be able to do this requires the ability to see opportunities where everyone else sees problems. It is on that backdrop that we have taken a deliberate decision to pursue conversations with these individuals so as to inspire the next crop of entrepreneurs in Botswana. Our focal point this evening is Zimbabwean-born but Botswana-based Ratidzo Murwisi. At just 37 years old, she's Botswana's first legal technologist and the founder of Botswana Legal Technology Network, which is dedicated to revolutionizing the legal industry in Africa through technology. In her own words, she specializes in helping law firms and professionals embrace technology to enhance efficiency and deliver superior client experiences, all while leaning on 15 years of experience across legal practice, innovation and financial services. Ratidzo studied law at the University of Wolverhampton in the United Kingdom, later completing her legal practice course in Manchester in 2011. 4 years after the fact, she sat for her bar exams in Zimbabwe to learn the legal systems of Southern Africa. But surprisingly, she did not feel that litigation was the right fit for her. And that is how she got into legal technology, bringing to life her zeal for entrepreneurship. Legal technology is where the application of technology and software is used to help individual lawyers, law firms, medium and large-scale businesses with practice management, document automation, document storage, billing and accounting. Ratidzo joins us now to share more around legal technology and what some of her core beliefs are that have anchored her to be where she is today. What exactly is legal technology though? I think sometimes people would confuse it with technology law.
All right, yes, that's a very big confusion that's happening. But I feel like it's happening in the markets where legal technology is still emerging, like Africa. Legal technology is the software and any computer tech that lawyers use to provide services. So kind of similar to Sage, QuickBooks, and Pastel for accountants, that's what legal technology is. So we've got various tools that help you kind of do your services, from contract law, real estate law. There's legal tech for each of the different practice groups. I'll give you an example of what we call CLM tools, right? They're a type of legal technology, and they're specifically for the people who are in corporate, who deal with a lot of contracts, drafting and reviewing. Essentially, it saves you a lot of time. You don't have to now read all those 300 pages. You kind of scan your document and the CLM software reads it for you and uses AI tools and just other computer tools to read through it and then kind of highlights, okay, these are the problematic areas, because the tool itself is built to take into account jurisdiction, country, the parties involved, and the sector you're in.
What is the scariest thing about venturing into this? I mean, you're the first legal technologist in the country.
It's very daunting because a lot of people right now, the buzzword is AI and what it can do, and a lot of people are scared. So you have to kind of fight that barrier first to be like, guys, it's not going to take away your job. A computer still needs a lot of guidance. It can't do a lot of these things by itself. Someone still needs to press a button. Someone still needs to do this. So it's not taking away your job. It's actually upskilling you and giving you other options, because now the skills you're learning are not just basic and applicable to one industry. They can be applicable across board. So it's just getting people to understand that part first, and then you're like, okay, breathe, calm down. We're not here to take away your job. We're here to make you smarter and better. And then people kind of get into it. So I think that's been the scariest part, just to kind of get people.
I want us to talk about that last bit, right? You have to get people to understand that this is not there to take their jobs. So then I want to understand where you are in the business as far as quantifying the successes and what you were able to achieve within this business.
So yeah, I have a lot of, right now my clients, a lot of them are international, because that's just how the market works at the moment, because we're kind of bringing it in. But it's also because of the nature of the niche that I am in legal technology. So I help with implementation. So someone else goes and sells the tool to you and does all that stuff. I'm terrible at sales. So I don't like kind of featuring in that part, but I work with more implementation. So because I work in implementation, I'm usually used now when people have bought the tool and they're like, okay, let's make it work for you and your team and find out how best to kind of roll it out, right? So because of that, I don't work a lot with local firms just as yet because they're all still trying to understand. A lot of the local firms, I'm just educating them on what it is and what's out there so that they can make the decisions themselves. And then when they buy the tool, I'm like, okay, so you've bought the tool. Now let's work on rolling it out into your department or your law firm and making it work for you.
What would you say then is a moment that you found was very pivotal in your career that you are most proud of?
Joining the legal tech community has actually been one of those because I was very happy to find it's women dominated. So that's the other reason why I was like, I'm in the right place, because a lot of the people who are in the space are women. And I think it kind of happened naturally with all the brilliant women you have in legal that kind of wanted to create their own space. So a lot of even the startups that are there, a lot of them are female led. A lot of the pioneers, especially in the African space, they're mainly women. I think it's like 80% right now. A lot of the people in this space are like from what we would call quote unquote the marginalized. It's a very inclusive space. So when I realized that and just seeing that community happen, even on LinkedIn where everybody's just talking about, I'm great at this. And you have someone say, oh my gosh, I had a breakdown at work today. But my boss didn't look at me like I was poison. He said, come sit down, are you okay? Breathe. And I was like, okay. I found my tribe.
If there was a little girl here, right, that needed advice about being an entrepreneur, what would your sage words or words of wisdom be to her?
Dream big. I feel like we don't realize how powerful that statement is. Dream big. If you reach for the moon, you will land on the stars and the clouds. As African girl children, we are always told, this is where your limit is. Like they tell you that your career can happen and then you reach a certain age and suddenly people are like, and the husband and the children. I think dreaming big must also encompass you can choose what you want your life to be. There will always be different versions of you. People will know different sides of you. There are people who only know Rati the basketball player. There are people who only know Rati the technologist. There are people who know Rati the entrepreneur. So you need to hold space for yourself and remind yourself that it's okay for people to know different versions of you.
In the words of Catherine McNamara, remember to reach for the stars and they won't be able to resist flying into your hands. And that simply means work hard to reach your goals and you will not be left empty-handed. Exactly what our guest Ratidzo did. And with that, we will see you shortly after this commercial break.
Bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, ka mala jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho.
Senthe.
Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus. So se tlhokanyela ke o mangwa ga go mo tirisong le reference number e bon dinomoro tse diriswang go rurahatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke mo ntse samplele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utang ka dona ebile ke be ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB. Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go motho ya la mamrapedi. O tola skontere hela. O bua go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
Welcome to First Issues. Previously on the program, we spoke to businessman Bame Pule, who is the founder and CEO of Africa Lighthouse Capital, a private equity firm that has 7 pension funds, including BPOPF, as clients. Recently, the firm acquired a 76% stake in Madeleine Day Hospital in efforts to transform Botswana's health sector, especially in the underserved communities.
It's really an exciting investment for us, and one which we think can have tremendous benefits for the companies and the hospitals, patients, for the healthcare sector in Botswana, and for the broader economy.
Our conversation with him this evening aims to demonstrate that, even with eventual success, challenges will always make part of the journey. Mr. Pule, thank you so much for coming on First Issues. You are the founder and CEO of Africa Lighthouse Capital, which is a private equity fund, right?
Yes.
Firm.
That's right.
When you started out in 2012, what would you say were some challenges that you encountered, and how did you overcome them?
First challenge was that the product which I wanted to introduce to the market in Botswana was unknown and had never been established in Botswana. So this is in 2012 when I registered the company, and we were licensed by Nbifira, and the product was private equity. At that time, the institutional investors in Botswana, largely pension funds, had not yet invested in private equity, and it wasn't something they were familiar with. So here I was saying, this is a good way to grow the economy, this is a good way to create wealth for your pension fund members, and this is a good way for disseminating entrepreneurial knowledge into the economy. And as anywhere, anytime that something is new, and particularly where pension funds obviously have strong fiduciary duty to their members, it was very, very challenging. What I haven't mentioned is that the company started in 2012, but the first time that I started managing institutional capital was in 2018. So for those 6 years was an education project that I was on, meeting pension funds, telling them about private equity, telling them about the benefits that they can have. One of the key benefits of private equity, is that for every pula invested in private equity versus in the listed stock market, over a period of 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, no matter what period you measure, the returns in private equity are greater. This is very important for the pension funds because they are saving money for people's retirements, and so they need to be investing in higher returning asset classes, which private equity is. And so it was a 6-year campaign of educating the pension funds about private equity, about the risks in private equity and how they're manageable, about my track record having been investing since 1998, and also about how this feature of the high returns in private equity compared to listed equity on the stock market is something that would provide us a value to them. So that was one major challenge to educate the market about this asset class. I'd say the other challenge is I was in Botswana. I was born and raised here in Gaborone, and here I was introducing a new innovative product in a new company. It wasn't under a big established company, and so that was a challenge because some of these institutions were not used to dealing with a new company started by their fellow countrymen in Botswana. This investment or this asset class might be something that more used to introduce by a global company that they've heard of for years and years. Two major challenges that took a full 6 years to overcome, and I think that's an important story. None of us must think entrepreneurship is an overnight success. All of us must realize that in entrepreneurship, the venture can fail to gain traction, can fail to survive. All of us must especially understand it's a long-term journey.
So you were able to weather those storms, right?
Yes.
So what would you say to up-and-coming entrepreneurs who are perhaps going through something similar, who are they themselves in the eye of the storm and don't know if they'll make it out or not?
It's very hard. There's no easy answer to that. It's very important that for us as entrepreneurs in Botswana, we learn from each other. Nobody has all the insights. I don't have all the insights. But the ways that I learned during my own journey that enabled me to weather those storms and be able to withstand this. In my case, I was also very fortunate. I had prior existing businesses in South Africa, in Nigeria, in Mauritius that I was investing in while engaging in the market education in Botswana. The need for all these entrepreneurs is capital. At any one point, they're seeking to grow in order to provide goods and services to the buying public out there. They need capital to bridge them as they're developing their enterprises. So it all comes down to that question. Where's the capital going to come from to fund these entrepreneurs? And as I say, we need to have that national conversation. We need to reach the determination that the new jobs come from growing enterprises, and therefore that we need a conducive environment for those growing enterprises to indeed thrive.
In spite of whatever curveballs may be thrown at you, as an entrepreneur, aim to be like Bame Pule, who understood that venturing into entrepreneurship was a long-term undertaking, not an overnight success story. We'll see you shortly after this commercial break.
Ta bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama kana male jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho
Senthe
ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse diriswang go ruratsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke motho sampolele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB.
Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sathare mpare mutiki. Na ke ra go motho hela mamrapedi. Kotola skontere hela. O bua go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
Welcome to First Issues. We have arrived at the last segment of the program where we discuss solutions to entrepreneurial challenges. In the last few conversations, funding has come up as one of the major challenges that entrepreneurs face. Needless to mention, this means they cannot start, grow, or expand their enterprises to a point of being significant economic contributors. Well, some organizations such as Visa International have just the remedy for that, but specifically for female-owned businesses. The Visa She's Next Botswana program aims to foster an inclusive and equitable environment for women-led businesses through access to funding, tailored training, mentorship, and networking opportunities. Here is Salome Makau, Cluster Country Manager for Visa Central Southern Africa, with more details about this initiative.
The She's Next initiative, empowered by Visa, is our Visa Global Women Entrepreneurship Program. What we aim to do is not just showcase women businesses, but support them with funding, with mentorship, and with coaching. Because this is a women entrepreneurship program, of course it's women who must apply. They must be Botswana women. They must have registered a business here and have been practicing in the business for at least 12 months, at least a year. It must be a registered business giving services in Botswana. If you come to our Visa website and just search She's Next Botswana, you are going to get the details. However, we'll certainly share with you the specific link for you to be able to put in your application. And to make it better for you, tell us as much as possible about your business, especially if it solves a social problem. We want to hear about it. there's no limit to which industry it is. It could be farming, it could be education, it could be baking, it can be anything. What we're hoping to see out of here is many applicants first to come through. While we will have 3 top winners out of 5 who get a chance to showcase their business in August, so that we can, find the finalists. We will also have sessions of mentorship and coaching to more businesses. About 30 or so will know that more. So the hope is that these businesses will be like the catalyst for other businesses in Botswana to grow, to form a network of like-minded people who are looking for information, who are looking for support, who are even looking to just share the challenges they have and how others have solved for them. So we are hoping for a domino effect.
As an entrepreneur, you should be able to seize opportunities as quickly as you possibly can. This demonstrates agility and a progressive mindset, qualities needed to build sustainable, growth-oriented enterprises. So apply. Who knows, you just might be next. And with that, we have come to the end of tonight's installment of Thursday Issues. Until we meet again next time, have yourself a pleasant evening. Good night. This program was proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.